Hey you folks, Quill18 here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Football Manager 2017. We are Ayr United. This is our third season. We're in the Premier League, and we have a goal of staying in here, avoiding relegation, if at all possible, avoiding a relegation battle. If we end up sort of roughly mid-table here, that's going to be a huge win for a team that was just promoted. Should let us bank a lot more money and develop an even stronger team. We've made a lot of changes recently in our lineup, recruiting some great free transfers that are buffing things out quite a bit. And this is the first game where we're going to be starting with our two-striker comp. We're going to be playing a 4-3-1-2. Now, I did make a couple of tweaks more to the tactics in between episodes over here. You can see I've got both the people set at the front as attacking forwards. Whether or not that's appropriate or not, I'm not sure. There are a few preferences, like technically Nikitya over here would maybe, you know, be a little bit more excelling as a straight-up poacher, but I think that would be a little too far forward. Same thing with Nyame with the poacher as well, but they're both very strongly skilled as advanced forward, and I think that's going to be a lot better. Got the Unganch role over here as sort of, I mean, maybe having it something that's explicitly attacked doesn't actually make that much sense. Maybe, you know what? I just realized an advanced playmaker makes so much more sense. Maybe an explicit support role is actually way more sensible. The reason I started with the Nganch is because Emmanuel Thomas over here is specifically excels at that, but I think we're going to go with Maguire. And I'm starting Maguire because he did so well for us last game, and I think the advanced playmaker really makes a lot of sense to tie everything together a lot more. So yeah, let me go ahead and make that tweak. We've got a pair of box midfielders here. That means that Crawford and Fraser will be moving around a fair bit to join in the attack. Whether or not that's ideal, we'll have to play it by ear. And Andy Geegan, undedicated defensive ball-winning midfielder over here, hopefully doing okay. Both of our fullbacks on a support role, not wing back, not attack, just straight-up support. They should make an appearance from time to time, but really a lot of it is going to be running up the middle, and as such, the instructions are going to be tied up to this. We're going to try to go, I actually want to go with a shorter passing game, but this was going to break the tactic too much. So the secondary tactic, which is the counter one, is currently set to shorter passing to try to practice that passing style a bit. But we're going to stick with a mixed passing style over here. I think a short, tight passing game right down the middle is going to be a good way to do it. We're even going with a lower tempo over here. This tempo here is actually much more similar to the standard tempo when you're talking about counter over here. The idea is to be a little bit more meticulous, also not to run ourselves ragged quite so much. If we can hold up the ball a little bit, force the opposition to run to us to try to get the ball, and then we pass it away, that would be good. Still got to work the ball into the box, which seems like a great idea. Just try to shoot up from a little bit closer. Seems to be really successful, especially in this league here. I haven't played run at defense before, but I've been doing some reading up at it, and it seems like, you know how we keep getting to that problem where we keep sort of getting the ball up to the front, and there's a couple of defenders, and then their players are like, and they sort of pass it backwards. They're having a hard time really finding those openings. Run-up defense means our players are going to be more willing to try to dribble past the opposition with the ball. Actually, you know, run at that defensive line. Our front line is actually possibly well suited to this. Nyane over here has got a dribbling, like, you know, again, our golden skills are maybe a little bit limited, but we've got double-digit dribbling. We've also got great agility, good balance, good acceleration, good pace, for example. Nikitya over here only has a dribbling of 9, but insanely good acceleration and pace, and so hopefully you can just sort of generally beat people a lot. Even a Chris Maguire over here, he's got his dribbling of 12, acceleration of 12, only the pace of 9, but that explosive acceleration plus the dribbling should hopefully enable that to work. We'll see how it goes. Maybe there's going to be a lot of moving forward and then losing the ball. So the idea is hopefully a little bit, more thought out, a little bit thinking, try to connect it up, maybe the Maguire who can pass it up to an opening there, or there's a run forward. The flanks should come into play a little bit, especially with the look for overlap, which will also encourage the fullbacks to play a little bit further forward on the attack over here. And we are going to be playing with the control mentality over here, a little bit more aggressive. It's innately a little bit faster, and so the lower tempo is sort of going to balance out, actually, and I think that's going to be hopefully okay. In terms of subs, I've got 3 offensive subs, 2 strikers, and the attacking midfielder replacement available. Jamie Thomas and Craig McGuffey making up the B team here, unfortunately, for the striker situation. We'll see how it goes. I mean, certainly Jamie Thomas, even though on paper he's so good, he hasn't been doing that well, and it could just be the positional thing. For all I know, Craig and Jamie will start to crush it with the 2-striker comp. We'll see how that goes. Emmanuel Thomas is just sitting up for Craig Maguire, just because he had such an exceptional game recently, and we'll see how that keeps going over there. We only only have one midfielder sub available, Ebu Adams over here, which I'm a little uneasy about. Really, I'm sure what I should do is not run this many strikers, but I feel bad not suiting up these strikers. I'm letting emotion like cloud me. It's not good. Anyway, we've got a couple of defenders available as well as our goalkeeper. So hopefully this relatively good setup. Let's see what it looks like. It's 7 degrees and rainy here at the Somerset Park in Ayrshire today. Sold 3,400 tickets. That's not bad. Very good pitch is fine, so the rain's not really going to bother us much because we're actually a little bit more sensitive to a really bad pitch because the middle tends to get the worst, and a short passing game, which involves a lot more running the ball along the ground, gets affected a lot by a bad pitch. So it's not a perfect pitch, but still it should hopefully be okay. We'll see how it goes. This guy seems a little bit more aggressive with the yellow card, so we might not go aggressive with our tackling. So yeah, facing Partick Thistle, if we beat them, then we'll actually go up a full rank over here, and that's going to be pretty helpful to stay out of that relegation situation, considering we are tied with Falkirk. Now, we are 3 points ahead of St. Johnstone, but that's not very much, and that's with 8 games remaining in the season. We also have to play our cup games as well, so a win here is actually incredibly critical, and the fact that we've got such a, changed up composition is going to be a real test to see if we made a good idea. Robbie Crawford, is only at 76. You're right, but has been having a good game at 7.08. We might want to start Ebu Adams instead. All right, let's go ahead and do that. But I think I was starting him because he had such a great session. We'll definitely have to make sure to get him a little bit more sharpness as we go. All right, submit the team. I'm very stressed out because, I remember being stressed at the end of last season because we were desperately trying to make sure we made it into the championship, or into the playoffs so that we could get promoted to Premier, I should say. But I felt like we had a bit more leeway. Here, 2 losses and we're down at relegation. Automatic relegation seems pretty damn far away, but relegation playoff? No. 1 win here is not even going to come close to putting us to safety, but that's how dire it is. Partick Thistle is considered to be quite the favorite, 1-2. Holy cow! Difficult to find it in front of fans lately. We'll see how it goes. They're riding the crest of a wave. I'm gonna be assertive about this. Playing and winning your best. No. It's going to be hard to get a result. My players are always up to a challenge. Looking forward to it. Yeah. Suggest a change of tactics. That's right. I picked a team and a tactical style that will give us the best chance of winning. We got a lot of new players, so that's going to make a big difference here. Oh, they're going to be playing this kind of thing. Interesting. A lot of room there. They might have a hard time connecting. We'll see how it goes. If we can keep those guys kind of marked and deny them passing opportunity, that would be quite nice. What kind of speed are we looking at? That is a hell of a lot of pace on this guy. Good God. Aziz here, so we're clearly not tightly marking you. We will close you down. We're not going to go for the tight... Well, actually, apply advice. We will be looking for a quick close down if you do have the ball, because I'm scared of you. The pace here is also really fast. I don't think we can tightly mark you. Damn. And what about Welsh over here? I don't think tightly marking makes much in the way of sense. Someone who is actually a little further back. Well, let's see what we can do with something like this. What about Ryan Edwards? My God, their team is good. Holy crap, their team is good. That might pull our guys too far out of position. Tell you what, let's just close down quickly on Aziz and leave it at that. We're at home. I'm going to be assertive about this. We'd fall into the relegation play zone if we don't win here. So get out there and impress me. All right, that's something. Mood's fairly good. I don't think I'm going to do any individual instructions over here. Seems to be mostly all right. Okay, and here we go. So we're playing at home. We've got the black and white stripes going on. Our opposition is in the red and yellow. And they did start with possession of the ball. Instantly drew a foul from pulling on the shirt. Yeah, see, we have to be really careful with this referee, it feels like. We might want to stay on feet. Explicitly. Might be hard. It might, make it harder for us to actually tackle and take the ball away. But I think it's actually going to be very important for us to not draw as many fouls. Don't go for those slide tackles. And already, some people are down to 90% condition, which I didn't think was in the match prep, but I don't know. All right, position stats, all those stats don't matter. We're only 2 minutes in, so everything's really, really lopsided. Although, they do seem to be keeping the aggressive. There we go. Flanagan, he's got it. He's going to take his time, go to Fraser, who just one-times it to Maguire, which isn't necessarily a stronger place. Big trip there. Come on, referee! You were right there. How is that not a penalty? But we do get the ball back. Caleb Crane looking for someone. Does seem like they're definitely taking their time to look for a passing target, which I think is generally going to be good. Back to Maguire. Can we advance this? Ebu Adams going to send it in through the hole to Nyane. Excellent. We might try to pass it well forward. Okay, back to Ebu Adams, who gets it over to Nikicha. I think you can really feel the box-to-box midfielder thing in terms of the roving. Adams and Fraser will be moving a lot more, whereas Geoghegan should stay fairly centered over here. Well, as I say that, he does run forward over there. Which does show you that these things are, they're variable. He's supposed to hold up more and not get as involved, but he's still going to. Nice sort of backwards pass from Ebu. Maguire with a through pass over there that looked great. Nikicha is forced to send it back to Fraser. We're still looking for an opening over here, but again, I haven't actually set... Oh my god, that was a lovely opportunity. Two people could have gotten there with some opportunity to shoot. Part of me wonders if it might have been better if Fraser had gotten there, because I think he might have had a bit more momentum in the right direction, and he does have the power shot thing, and that might have delivered a little bit better for the footedness, but we'll see. Lammy does get his head on it, clears it back to the corner, which sort of leads to another that header into Alexis Savage, picks up the ball, holds on to it. Shots are 3-1 against. Does feel we're about on back foot, and maybe I should be playing in more of a counter mentality over here, but frick it, we're playing at home. Let's go for it. We did have slight possession bonus. Actually, we got more shots on somewhere along the way as well. Welsh, oh, big shot that gets deflected off of Geoghegan's bald head over here. I don't think he's bald in real life. I don't remember, though. Kalen Crane running the ball up fairly high up the side. Both of my left and right fullbacks actually have fairly decent speed. I think they both have an acceleration and pace of something like 12, which, ain't bad given, in the scope of our team. Although I'm seeing the stats in Partick Thistle, and now I'm like, holy crap, man. I am super, super far down here. But again, if we can stay one season in Premier, then, that opens up. They're going to make so much money, and we're going to be able to get so many more quality players. We'll just have a better reputation in the game, for example. Nyane, I'm not sure who won that header, but Ebu Adams does have it. Tries to send it up to Nikicha, who does head it over to Nyane. Catches it on his chest. He is going to be forced to send it back because there's like 4 guys on him. Maguire does sort of a forward pass ahead of Adams, who does manage to pick it up. A bit risky, but it worked out. Adams going to look to cross. Does deflect off a body, but Maguire does get it. Sends it back to Fraser, who might take one of his classic long-range shots. That deflection almost led to a really amazing goal, actually. But unfortunately, it deflected a little too far over, but does lead to a corner over here. Chris Maguire going to be taking it for us. Flanagan does not get his head on there, and even if he had, I don't know what kind of angle he got, but Maguire gets it again. Cross it in front of the net. Goalkeeper isn't able to take it, but Nikicha was in a great position there if things had worked out just a little bit differently with the ball position and the goalkeeper position. So it's going to be a corner for Partick Thistle here. The header from Aziz does look incredibly dangerous there, but he does go well wide after winning that. For all I know, he's got great jumping reach, but not the same heading skill. Maguire taking a free kick, gets it wide over to Tony Ralston, who centers it over to Fraser, who takes the shot. Just a scooch too wide, and honestly, I'm not sure if there was an angle to make that work on the right, because with the goalkeeper, I think it was either going to be the post or the goalkeeper, but if you'd gone left, maybe. It still gets us to a corner. No one does anything. It just goes straight through the entire pack, and then Captain Zap Bannigan over there is going to be able to start an offense, and a very dangerous one at that. Harrison with big run. It is going to lead to a corner there. I feel that probably hurt Tony Ralston. That was an insanely powered ball going in there. Still, a possession is 56-44. It's the sort of thing we're looking for. Slightly ahead on shots, which is good, especially on target shots at that. This free kick is a little worrisome. Does go well wide. It's going to be a goal kick, and we're back on the offense. Our pass completion is 84%. We're not winning much in the way of tackles. We haven't tried that many, but we've got our tackle sort of setting a little bit lower. And we still drawn 5 fouls with that. Aziz, I think, was trying to send that forward of Bannigan, but that didn't really work out. Likewise, this forward pass did not really work out too terribly well. And I really want to encourage a shorter passing game, and we're going to try to work on that. It might come up. Lanny gets his beautiful golden head on it, gets it up to Fraser, who's going to walk it up a fair bit. Doesn't really have much in the way of passing targets forward. He might be forced to send it back. I was going to say backwards to Chris Maguire, who, of course, is one of our advanced playmakers as well. Adam sneaks to 14. Keisha, who's got to get rid of it quick. He's being closed in. Very aggressive. Maguire to Fraser. Fraser to Nyane, who just sort of lightly taps it forward to Nikisha, who tries to one-tam it into the net. Nice little fast little play there, but unfortunately it goes a little too haywire. Just a bit weak finishing, unfortunately. 40 minutes into the match. Ball gets deflected away there. Maguire cannot get on it, but Welsh just wildly fires it at the net, and it goes well off target. 8-7 on shots. Possession is 53-47, and we've got to throw in with Crane. Getting it to Adams. Takes a second to get it on foot. Chris Maguire holds it up for a moment. Gets it over to Fraser, who does his power shot. We haven't seen one of Gary Fraser's power shots like that in quite some time. And I have to say, that delivery was very, very, very well done. Sure, it was pretty centered, but the goalkeeper's still going to miss a lot of those. Maguire gets it over to Adams. Holds it up for a second. Back to Maguire. Over to Fraser. Fraser's seeing a lot of action. It's exactly the sort of thing we're still doing I don't know about that, Mr. Fraser. That led to a corner. Oh, that's not so bad. Didn't realize you'd hit one of their bodies. We still want that whole strategy of threats from many different places. Hard to shut down any one person. It looks like they've got very aggressive closing down on our strikers. The fact that like 4 bodies show up on our striker all the time. But our strikers can routinely get it away to someone else. Maguire, I think it got deflected a little bit, so that wasn't really the ideal pass. And it is going to be a throw-in to us still. Okay, that's good. I wasn't sure about who was the last person to touch it there. Seems to be holding up okay. Chris Maguire getting a little bit tired. He's certainly getting a lot of action here. Nikisha may have won that. Andy Geegan, anyway, I think actually gets the interception on a lost heading challenge. Fraser, gets the ball taken away from him. No yellow cards or anything put out. Foul's still there. I mean, we could change our passing tactic. Looks like Andy Geegan got it on his chest there. Then gets it taken away before he can get it settled into his feet for a pass. Welsh, tackle there, but no call. That's good. Maguire to Fraser. Fraser's going to try to probably walk it up a fair bit. No, gets it over to Tony Ralston, who's got some room around him and then can center it again. I think Tony Ralston was trying to do a run at defenders thing, and that's not really what we want from him. I'm not sure how strong his actual dribbling is. He's got a little bit of it. Flanagan gets it cleared. No, not so much. I think that is just clear over. Yeah, and it is a goal kick to us. We might try to encourage a little bit more passing from our wings. Okay. It's a good start in a sense against a team who's supposed to be stronger than us. I'm going to say, there we go. Seems motivated. Get some revenge. So any changes that might come up? Well, we're certainly going to be looking to replace people who have a lower rating, although we have a slightly higher average rating than they do. Having a bit of a striker thing. But again, it might just be that they're being clumped down quite a bit. Nyane, that's taken away from him. We are out shooting them in a 3-to-2 ratio, which isn't terrible. First substitution on the other side. Welsh comes off. Chris Commons comes on. Don't need to substitute quite yet. Chris getting a little tired. Caleb Crane gets the first yellow of the match. It's not too bad this far in. Okay, 60 minutes in. Both our strikers are definitely having a hard time. But again, it might be a whole something to do with our entire layout here. It's entirely possible. I might want to, try to go for... I don't think this target man is the right way. Overall, I'm kind of liking it. I think, the passes are getting there. We're doing okay. Your morale's dropping a little bit. Can we go and sub in? Let's get Jamie Thomas in here. He's feeling fantastic. He's feeling really fantastic, so let's go and get him in. I mean, he hasn't been playing that strongly the last few games, but his morale's good. His morale's always good. That's one of the things with him that's always really fantastic to see. Andy Geegan getting a little tired. Chris Maguire getting a little tired. I don't know about doing the double sub right now. Although Robbie Crawford's quite good, and he's had a lot of good games. His sharpness not there. You know what? We're going to give him 30 minutes on here. Get his sharpness up and see if his stats keep going. They are... I actually can't see their mood here. It would be nice to judge that and see if I should, really say something. But I'll leave it be for now. Substitutions are happening. Wouldn't surprise me if we had to do a sub on Chris. Eddie's still got a lot of energy. He hasn't been playing stupendously well, but he's got a lot of energy. I think his stamina rating is very high. Yellow card on the other side, Stuart Bannigan. I don't think that's something we can really exploit. I don't think that means, we can push on one side or another. Adams with a header! Oh my god, this camera angle always gets me. Always gets me. The ball, no matter where the ball goes, left, right, up, or right down the middle, they all look like goals 100% of the time. Lammy the free kick. Fraser just boots it over to Maguire. He gets it over to Adams. He's got a bit of room, but he's going to have to send it back sideways to Fraser. Amazing. Look at this. Ralston is being tightly marked. Look at this. That's very interesting. I don't know what we do about that. Just encourage them to play more defensively at this point? I mean, that's got to be what's going on. They've got this guy glued. Might even be a man-to-man instruction. And actually, it looks like the same thing's happening on the other flank. I mean, this might just be perfectly normal. I guess it's their wingers probably that's doing this, right? I don't know. Thomas gets it. Nice pass over to Nikisha. To Caleb Crane, who's going to cross in front of the net, but needed to send it a little further out this way. I still think I'm going to switch to something like a whipped cross as a standard thing, but I want to avoid too many changes too quickly until they get warmed up with the tactic, because I'm potentially shooting myself in the foot as is. Ralston wins the header there, but does not get anywhere useful. Bannigan to Erskine, and yeah, that is the winger that was holding on to there. And that might just be a normal formation as opposed to a tightly marked thing. Are we going to be able to take the ball away there? Again, we don't have... Nisbet sends it way too wide, which is good because our goalkeeper had run way out to try to pick that up. And leaving a pretty good angle for the header to go in. Goal kick for us. We're definitely getting some exhaustion with about 15 minutes left in the regular time. I'm going to pull Chris Maguire off. I mean, our defense is starting to flail a little bit as well. But we're going to bring in J. Emmanuel Thomas over here. I mean, Chris Maguire, again, his rating recently has been really good. And this game, 6.7, you know, perfectly average, I guess it's fine. But yeah, we'll keep up the high mobility up front. Possession isn't quite as overwhelming as it has been. We still have the shot advantage, not very high. And I can absolutely see this ending like 1-0 either direction. Gary Fraser with the power shot just deflects off a body, but does lead to a corner for us. All right. That's not too shabby. Or was it a goal kick? Maybe it was a goal kick. I thought it was a corner. But anyway, there was no highlight anyway. Alexis Savage picks up the ball. And restart the action. Pass completion's down to 79% from like 80-something, but it's still pretty good. He just throws it to Caleb Crane, who gets it easily. Crosses it to the other half, to Fraser. Gary Fraser, who runs past the defenders. Gets it to Ebu Adams, who can easily send it forward to Nikisha, who's got a good opportunity. Yes, beautiful. Everything about that play is exactly the sort of stuff we plan. Can I... Previous highlight. Okay, you can see the entire play going on here. Just lovely. We've got exploit the middle. So you rather than doing a long-range kick, I'm surprised you just threw, but it's not a long-range kick. You're trying to like distribute it a little bit more. We're playing out defense, so we get it over to Fraser. So we've got Thomas and Nikisha. We've got our two forwards over here, and we've got our advanced playmaker, Emmanuel Thomas. So Fraser beats the defense. Actually, we ignore the playmaker here, but we've got two box-to-box midfielders getting involved in the play. Adams moving up to where there's a lot of space, makes himself a great opportunity to see things. And then Nikisha just is like, gets ready to go. It was like borderline, you know, some of the, this is the guy here for the, what's the word? Offside, right? That's probably the target right there, but he's well done. And Adams just sends it forward. Nikisha, who has big speed, remember, just beats the defenders easily, gets a little close to the goalkeeper for my liking in terms of you might lose it, but it also gives you a really strong angle and a lot of place to go. Emmanuel Thomas winning that, taking the ball away, being quite far back on the defense, sends it far forward to Nikisha, who again can use his speed. He's going to be pinned too much for a shot, but oh, he does still try a shot. I'm not sure about that, but there the people were kind of in his way for a pure passing opportunity. It does lead to a corner, which I'm very surprised at, because I thought we just hit the goalpost, but I guess the goalkeeper got his hands on it. Here's Nikisha again, picking up the ball. He's going to be able to, sends it that way. Thought he probably would have sent it into the penalty area, but apparently not quite. Forward to Thomas. Thomas takes the shot. Oh, I got to say, delivered with a great amount of potency there. It does go, unfortunately, a little bit wide, but I think that was a good opportunity. Gary Fraser down to 62%. He is forced to run around a lot. Box-to-box midfielders do need... It's Lammy! Lammy's golden head gets us another goal. It's only his second of the season. Partially, I think when I was away on vacation, they were probably not playing him all correctly and everything like that. Lammy's golden head. We were, well, I don't remember what our odds were. I know that Partick Thistle was a 1-2 over, and we were very much an underdog. Big dog here. Oh, this is going to be another corner. Holy crap. And actually, that was a close shave. Flanagan almost could have booted that in. And just like that, we're up 2-0 and just threatening again and again and again and again with more of a 10% edge in possession here. Looks like it's probably going to end without something else, unless Fraser can center it to... No one on our team. And that is almost certainly going to be the end of it. It's possible the timekeeper will give them enough time to complete that. 2-0. 2-0 with our tactic that our players are still adapting to. I'm going to say this with passion. No one gave it a chance, but you... Nobody gave us a chance, but you played magnificently. Congratulations. I was just hoping that more people would feel delighted, but as per usual, praise never works for these crazy people. Look at that. It took a while to get there, but we did, in fact, get there. So we'll be using exactly the same idea against the Hibs over here, and hope that that works out pretty well. Quality of possession provides victory. That's entirely the idea. Lammy impresses for Ayr. He always impresses for it. Look at this gorgeous head of hair that this guy's got, and he uses that to power the ball around. 8.6 rating. He had a good rating before he scored, and then when he scored, especially as a defender, I think, he's got it in there. What a great purchase this guy was. Was he like in our first season or something? I don't remember when we picked him up. I feel it was late in the first season, and what a great pickup that was at that time. I mean, he's someone, we were looking for someone with great national fitness. He's got the strength, the stamina, incredible jumping reach, and good heading skill over here. Good aggression too for the tackling. I mean, the raw tackling skill not as much, but he doesn't draw that many yellow cards for some reason. I mean, that was it. It was just sort of about the raw natural talent over there. I mean, whether or not he's someone that will develop any further, I don't know. If you take a look at the stats, there have been some movement. His jumping reach and strength, I guess they're really overlapped with one another, but there's been a little bit of that. There's been some downward movement in some of the skills, actually. His tackling's gotten slightly worse. Positioning's getting better and better, which honestly is probably okay. That's one of the things we're looking at. Focusing on his agility right now, which has been going up, so I can't complain about that. Really quite keen on this. Let's take a look at the competition stats over here. So that puts us up to 31, so 8th overall, but again, it's like 29, 30, 31, 32. This is so close together. Going up another notch. We're playing the Hibs. If we beat them, then we go up to 7th. The absolute placement is not that meaningful, though. It's the point differential. Luckily, we have a 6-point lead on St. Johnston over here. Okay, that is a big thing. They would need to outright win twice more than we win. There's going to be 7 more matches left this season. So, I mean, if we lose them all and they win 2 or something, like, it's definitely not a lock. If we beat the Hibs and St. Johnston loses their next one, I don't know, maybe it's Johnstone, maybe it's Johnson, I don't know how I'm saying Johnston. If we beat the Hibs and St. Johnston doesn't win their next match, then I would feel very comfortable at that point in saying it would be statistically very unlikely for us to end up in a relegation battle. On the other hand, if they win theirs and end up at 28 and we lose and we're at 31, that's a 1-game difference. And again, keeping everyone close together. That's a 3-point difference. And then all of a sudden, 1 win either way puts us down into the relegation zone. Now, even our goal differential is not that noticeable, which might matter here. Doesn't usually come up, I think, in the league, but here it might matter because we are all really close together. And there's, bigger rewards for final positioning. So there's a good chance we might end up tied with someone at the end. I mean, if we end up tied in points with the Hibs overall, then we will be 1 rank below them, in terms of whatever reward that might be gotten or whatever. So we'll see how that goes. And even Patrick Thistle, we're damn close together. We haven't drawn that many times, which is kind of surprising, compared to the points over here. I'm very pleased with that. I'm especially pleased with the fact that the tactic really did kind of work the way that we want. It took a while to score, but I mean, we got a couple in there. I mean, the second one, which was from a corner, right, with Lammy, that wasn't really an execution of the tactic as much as just, Lammy is awesome. But that one goal was like, it was textbook exactly what we're trying to achieve. And it did feel like we had a fair amount of control. It's easy, for the opposition for a goal to slip in. We could have lost 2-0 in this game and then be like, maybe the tactic is broken. And just because we won this one doesn't mean the tactic is solid. But I think it's a very good sign. Yeah, in terms of starting over here, you can see, like, Jamie Thomas is still, like, his overall score is still a bit on the low side, like, for his recent form. So we will keep subbing him from time to time and see how it goes. Right now, Yanni's still doing hopefully okay. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, Eddie over here, 7.42. That's got to be, well, I was going to say a club record. Ricky Lamy is 7.58 over his last 5 games. And in fact, his average rating, I think this might be for the season or it might be like over the last 30 games. 7.04 is good, but look at this, 7.8. This is before he joined us when he was still with Motherwell. Like, we took away one of Motherwell's star players because they didn't have him under a proper contract. Yeah. That was kind of nice. But we've only got 3 days. There's a good chance we won't be fully rested before then. We do, I hope, have our training set to low. We do not yet. Oh, we had it low here. I will also make sure it's low in the next week over here. That's going to be really important. To try to do well enough against St. Mirren here in the Scottish Cup, because I would really like to advance in the Scottish Cup. I mean, I want to stay in the Premier League, but I also would really love to do well in the Scottish Cup, because I think that would be another huge coup. And I'm liking a lot of the changes that we've done here. We still need to offload a ton of players, and we have to not be emotional about it. Like, I think it's actually going to be important to offload Nicky Devlin, for example, although he's still the team captain right now, so we'll see how it goes. Mostly just won't renegotiate his contract or something, maybe more than anything else. And we probably do need to go fishing for some very strong right and left defenders, but we don't have the money for it right now, so it's going to be a more, before the next season kind of thing. Still, I'm very pleased with this. Let's have a drink to celebrate. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.